Hello and welcome. I'm Thomas. This is channel called Wonder of Existence. Welcome back, gentlemen. We've been talking about the life in a previous episode, and I'm happy to carry on with that one because I sort of catch you here out of a discussion at the very end because we had to sort of park that topic for a moment. But I would like to carry on with this one. So just to go back to the topic, what was that about? We were talking about the life, the meaning of life, what the life is about. We were talking about animal life, like why animals behave this way, and is the consciousness involved in this, or maybe self-consciousness, and that we as a human being we have self-consciousness and a lot of other aspects. But at some point we stopped, so I would like you to carry on. So I remember that you remember what you wanted to say.
There was a question. We were talking about higher consciousness, higher consciousness that created, or let's say created. But what's wrong with create? Created us with a not that high consciousness, and so I had the example of a craftsman who is very good in one thing, and what is my function when I can't do the things that good? So what is our function in this creation? If this is creation, what function, what can we do for that higher consciousness that he can't do himself? That was the question, I think.
Okay.
Was it?
That was the topic. That was the point you were making.
Yeah.
So now you can answer it.
Oh, yeah. What I think is that in this, say, time we live as humankind, our task is to to be able to love our actions without seeing what it is for. So if you know what an action is for, you can like it or not, but then it's no problem to do it. And so eating is not a problem because we are hungry, we know what it is for, because after the meal we are not hungry anymore. But we, on earth, we have lots of actions that we don't know what it is for. And still we have to learn to love our actions if we don't know what it is for. That's, I think, what our higher consciousness can't do.
So we still need to love what we need to do, but we don't know what we need to do?
We don't know what to do, but the way to go to investigate, or and I think it's different for every human being what he has to do, but you have to love the action while you don't know what it is for. If it has sense. You don't know if it has sense, but you still have to look for an action for what you have to do in your life and love it while you don't know what it is for.
It's not the result.
Not the result. So without, in fact, acting without
looking for answers without necessarily finding them.
Without being, or with being sure that you won't find it.
That's the. But you said you have to. I don't think that you have to. You
no,
might.
Can't do,
you might.
Or you can drink a beer, lots of beer too. That's but it can be that the experience of drinking only lots of beer, 15 beers a day, it can be the same experience. What it is. So people who complain with me, I can't stop smoking. I always ask them, why don't you just enjoy it? Just have the experience really. Don't complain about you can't stop it. Just enjoy the smoking. Just enjoy the thing you want to get rid of. Until you get rid of it, then you don't have to complain about it. That you can't get rid of it.
Well, that's an argument that's used a lot. If you really want to stop smoking, you will stop.
Yeah.
But most people don't want to stop smoking. They smoke.
No.
The difficulty with stopping smoking, they don't really want to stop smoking.
No, but just enjoy it then.
Yeah, exactly. Which is
So
what I
that's
did.
and then you have to think about, well, what can it be in my, because with drinking, the problem with drinking is that in the morning you always have lots of problems with starting life again. So it can be a very good experience. I don't like that experience, so I don't drink. But I think for the higher consciousness, it can be very important. How does a human being know that in the morning life is getting really, really, really difficult? Still drinking, and then in the morning again and again, and you know it will be last. If you stay drinking, you will have that experience every time, and it will be stronger. It will be you create your own hell in that way in the morning. So it can be, for the higher consciousness, it can be very important, that experience. I don't know.
So you mean that someone knowing that he will suffer next day, still he does that because he believes that it must be or might be something important for the higher himself? Or what do you mean?
Well, it could be important to think in that way.
I don't think these people think this way. They just
No.
because-
But it can be. If you're always thinking about how can someone. What does someone have to do who wants to do something with it? So maybe it can be the thought of a higher consciousness that wants this experience. So make a diary about your starting life in the morning. Make a diary about it. Oh, I had a headache. Well, make a diary about it, but they will never do. The real alcoholist will never make it down. But I think that could be a good remedy for accepting your problem. Just make a diary of the problem, of the starting life in the morning, if you are drink.
We're coming on to the subject of purpose and what is the meaning of
Yeah.
life and what's the purpose of being here. And but yeah, in that
it's still somewhat
in that aspect,
Yeah.
it is not for us, but for our higher consciousness.
Yeah.
We're here for them, and
Yeah.
not for us.
Yeah.
Although we also have
we
our own
problems
experience.
with it, but it is an experience, and it could be important. That
It could be
experience.
important.
even them, it's not necessarily it's them, it might be us, but on a higher dimension.
But we don't know that, so we just that's good to mention that.
All right, but we sort of slightly going sideways.
No, but this is an example of human experience that doesn't look important, but it can be, in my way of looking at it, it can be important. It's not my experience, but to go, if you love the experience, you can make a diary about it. So the people who drink and have that experience don't like their experience, so they don't make a diary. But what we need to do is learn to love the experience, although we don't like it. Or it's heavy or I don't know what's. That's the love of the way you have to go. So we in our case this channel, we are looking for answers. But we know we won't find them, but we love the way to go for the answers. So that's what, in my opinion, is it could be a thing that is important for a higher consciousness. They can't do it because they know everything, so they know what it is for. But without knowing what it is for, and then looking for an answer, if you know that you won't reach the answer, that's really love.
You know, to me, the secrets of life, it's like looking at the fish in the aquarium, and the reality is behind the door of the room where the aquarium is, which means that even if we try extremely hard on ourselves, to find the purpose of life, the meaning of life, what is life about, and etc., etc., all those subjects, as you said, we might not be able to define them or to answer the questions to all those questions, answers to all those questions, because we are this fish in this very room, and the life is behind the door, or maybe behind, outside of the building, or outside of the city, whatever it is. It's so far away. But anyway, this is slightly different.
But this is your perspective of.
This is how I see why we cannot find the answers to the questions.
As a fish, if you have this self-consciousness, you stop eating and it's finished.
No, I'm saying
why don't
fish.
You stop eating?
I'm saying fish, like, because I'm looking at the fish, but the fish might be me.
Yeah.
So I'm still full conscious.
But why don't you stop eating then? Because it's senseless. Because why am I swimming? Why did that figure behind the door put you in the aquarium?
That's exactly what we hear. That's exactly why we're asking these questions ourselves, right? We want to find the answer.
Yeah. So, in your perspective, what could be the reason that that figure behind the door put you in the aquarium?
Yeah, there's loads of different options here.
What's your feeling about it? What do you think is most real feeling?
If we look at this that way, I would need to categorize that and create at least two main points here, left and right. And left would be it's something which is done or it's happening because of me. So I myself decided to take part in this experience, in this life.
Yeah.
And the second point, the right-hand side, is that something happens and I'm not fully in control. I'm just a sort of puppet, some sort of puppet in hands of something or somebody. And I play a role here. And that's something negative. Why I call it negative? Negative because I got a feeling that I'm not here then because I want to be here. But I am sort of sent over here to perform some activities, some tasks, and etc., in order to satisfy that something or somebody who sent me over here somehow. Satisfy somehow.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of explanations behind, so we will have to go now left and right and talk about those 2 points.
Yeah.
Because these are those main points, how I categorize that.
What is your feeling hiding for if you're feeling good and have not if you're feeling good, you slept well, you had maybe 2 weeks of a holiday and did activities, what does your feeling then incline?
It doesn't change. It doesn't change.
Doesn't change? It's but what is it? Which of the two? Or both? It's just
no. I'm just saying that I see it both sides. So
both sides.
Yeah, it might be.
It's
this
not possible
that.
As a human being. I think sometimes you.
Yes, it is. You sit on. Of course, it is. You just you just accept that you don't know, and you're open to both arguments. You sit on the fence.
But that's thinking. But you're feeling.
No.
What?
Okay. Feeling
is something different. You have always one thing that you.
No, but it's not dependable on how I feel on a particular day. Even if I wake up in the morning and I feel great, I still won't change my view on it. I still believe that it might be this or that way. So
yeah, you can think it, but what does your feeling tell you?
Feeling tells me still the same, and you know why? Because I still believe that either ways, either it's left or right, I might still feel great in the morning or not that great, and it all depends on a lot of factors and aspects here. So,
but doing only tasks to satisfy someone behind the door, well, it is not really great.
No,
feeling great.
What I'm saying is, like, even if it's negative, even if it's not me who decided to be here in this virtual reality,
The higher maybe you mean, I think. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be good or bad.
No.
It might be good or bad.
Yeah.
If I'm sent over here by somebody and I'm on a mission, then it does not necessarily mean that it needs to be negative. Once again, I can wake up in the morning thinking, oh, this life is actually great. But it doesn't change my mind. I still believe that there are two options here. And I can
But this option of the satisfied figure, people with some sort of orthodox way of religion, Christianity religion, or maybe Islamic orthodox way of religion, they always struggle with this satisfying the God. They mention it. So this is it coming from with you from that
with
way?
the satisfaction of the God, like to satisfy
Satisfy
the
that figure behind the door, if you're really.
God. No, I think that this is.
Well, they are talking about, well, we can be punished by God.
And I think this is a sick way of looking at the reality.
Sick.
So
that's not your
no.
no.
I mean,
It's
it
less
might
negative.
be the case. It might be the case, but in my view, it's sick.
It's not. So your feeling tells you probably it's my higher self that put me in this situation.
No, what I'm saying is like, if it's God sending me here, and I need to go through the hell, it might be once again. Both options might be that I am sent here to suffer because this way the creature which sent me over here, or entity who sent me over here, basically is delighted of the fact that I'm suffering here because it gets the energy out of my negative feelings, and that's the fuel for him to exist and to get the pleasure.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about the gods, but we're talking about the gods in terms of negative entities, because we sort of claim to say that God is taken into religious way, or we treat the God as religious way, in a religious way.
Yeah.
So either it's Muslims or it's Christians or other religions, Buddhism, all of them they say about God, but in terms of religion. So if we do something, then the God will be good for us. He won't destroy us.
So
Want us to get a heart attack. And for years, thousands of years, people were worshipping gods, which is to me sick. It's simply sick. I feel disgusted
But it can be
when
the
I'm talking
situation.
about it.
It's possible to that's the figure behind the door that is just telling you what to do.
No, then I say get lost.
Yeah, so
to
don't
the
eat.
God.
Don't eat.
Then I say get lost to the God. You know why? Because if he wants me to do something what I don't want to do, I won't do it. And if he punishes me in order to not to do it, and I die, then I feel comfortably good with dying, because I'm not going to follow his rules, because those rules are not with me, and I'm not going to follow them. So I'm against the certain rules which are set up by bad guys. Let's go like this. So the bad gods.
So
and
still,
in my view, let me just finish one more thing. And in my view, that's very important. If the God tells me to follow some rules, and if God tells me that if you don't follow, you'll be punished, it's not a God, for fuck's sake.
But it can be the figure behind the door.
Exactly, but I wouldn't call him God.
No,
that's the
no. That's maybe you're punished as a fish in the aquarium because you don't call him God.
How do you feel about not being able to distinguish or choose between the two? As you say, it doesn't matter whether you feel good or you feel bad, these two options are always there equally. And you don't know, obviously, so we don't know. But you sit in the middle and you say, yeah, that could be so, or that could be so. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about being in the middle and not making a choice between the two of them? Because you could make a choice between either one. You could say, well, I believe this one, or I'll put all my belief into that one.
I don't choose left or right because I don't know.
But how do you feel about not being able to choose?
If I'm in a position that I'm not able to choose, which means it's a right-hand side option, that means that someone sent me or something sent me over here. So it's not me to decide to come here. Then I'm not happy about it. But it doesn't mean that I cannot follow my my daily activities. And it doesn't matter if I wake up in the morning and I'm fresh and I'm feeling good or not good, because it's just my only very moment feeling that I feel good at that point. But once something bad hits me again, then I come back to this previous rhythm, thinking like, okay, hold on, why do I have to suffer with this one again? Why do I have to go through this again? Why that happens to me actually, and not only to me. I'm not talking about myself, talking about the humanity. So I'm just looking for the purpose of having a negative things happening to you. But then we come to the point of talking about the duality and other aspects of life, which is something also related to life, but I'm not sure if we should be talking about it right now, unless we constantly use close subjects closely related to the topic of life.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm not sure if you understand what I'm.
This is the question. I think what it's about. But for me, it's I think I have the trust in life that you can feel what is really important for you. So I think you don't make the choice because you don't want to feel really in yourself what is it about this life. I think I have trust to be able to feel what it's about. But I don't. For me, it's the rhythm. If I have, for accident, grandchildren who visited us and I didn't sleep 3 nights, not very good, then I don't trust my feelings about this. So I have to first have my important rhythms. That's the life basis
to stabilize it.
To be able to have a good compass for a feeling compass for what it's about life. So I don't trust with lack of sleep. I don't trust my feelings again. So I have to wait for.
But then it's like waiting for the good mood. I don't trust this option.
No, but good mood is not a good mood. It's stable mood.
Clarity.
Yes,
clarity. Clear mood.
Clear mood. Yeah. Clear mood is better than good mood. Good mood is
no.
I don't
just
trust
that
it.
you can.
You can drink a lot for a good mood.
No,
that's possible too, isn't it?
You might be right. The thing is that we live in such a high pace society these days that we just run and trying to catch the carrot constantly, which is on a stick in front of us, and we cannot catch it. And some of us, we try to run away from this trip or this. And those of us who are able within this physical reality still to step out and look at these rays flying next to them, going next to them, they are the happiest people on this world, because they see it's happening, they look from the different perspective, but they're not taking part in it. So you slow down to the rhythm of people like they used to live on this earth thousands of years ago. But now with this modern society, it's this rat race constantly, just run. And that basically puts the flaps in front of you, which means that you're not open enough to actually understand some aspects of yourself. And that's what I've got a feeling that sometimes I am into.
Yeah, a lot of people do as well. My brother was giving an example of his girlfriend, who is very busy, demands from other people to be there for them, and to the point where she almost, you could say, loses contact with who she is, because while she's busy with her life, she is the mother, she's the ex-husband, she's the friend, she's the worker, she's the professional artist, she's this for all these different people. And filling her life up with all those different people,
roles.
being these different roles, who's she?
Yeah.
You know? And you have to pull back to find out who you are. And that's it's not a nice thing to do for some people, because they become confronted with somebody that they didn't know, or somebody they don't like,
Yeah.
or somebody that just hasn't had the time to develop.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about, and that's why I'm saying that he might be right. It might be the case that I'm sort of not right at the moment, because I cannot understand the thing, because I'm in the rat race instead of being outside of this race. And if you're outside, you see it from the different perspective. And there are moments when I'm outside of it, but only when I go, as you said, and that's why I agree with here, when I go for holidays at least for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks, I feel total release. And after 3 weeks, I feel like I want to go back to the rhythm again. I want to get something on my shoulders. I want to pursue something. I want to do something, basically.
Mm.
And most likely, you might be right again, that if you're in that stage after 3 weeks, you ready to start feeling things in a different way and looking at the things from the different perspective. But this means that I'm out of this race. But unfortunately, because we are in this society, in order to satisfy your physical needs, which means monetary, cars, houses, whatever, just physical layer, you need to step in again and rat race again.
That's the crossover with between the two topics: what is life and what is the purpose of life.
Yeah.
It's almost the same question, but it's not the same question, because what is life also incorporates what is the substance of life, where does it come from, what makes something living and not dead. But you've also got the side of the question, what is life, means what do we do with it?
Yeah.
What is important about life? Why are we here? That sort of thing. And what is my personal purpose? What is humanity's purpose? What is the Earth's purpose? What's the universe's purpose? What's God's purpose? And so on. It's also the flip side of the what is life question. But that really it's more clarified in the question of purpose and meaning. I think we need to go there.
And you can what can you do if you're completely in that rat race? How many minutes will it cost a day?
Well, yeah, but that's the therapeutic side of the answer.
Slowly out of it.
Yeah.
To come slowly.
If you decide that that's first you discuss what the purpose is, and if the purpose is
but you have
not the rat race. Then,
but if you start with the beginning of this, you have to love the rat race to be able to make a 3 minutes diary every day. Yeah. So if you don't learn to love the rat race, then you will never start a diary about it.
Yeah.
But if you succeed to start a diary is some form of it.
Yeah.
If you're able to start a diary about it, then I think you're at what the first question. That's what to love the diary, to love the thing you hate. That's our task for the higher consciousness we are talking about. I think.
Yeah.
If we're talking about this rat race, just one more thing about that. I know people who basically, as you said, they need to sort of see themselves, they reel themselves after some certain period of time when they're not taking part in the rat race. Therefore, they don't do it. Let's say there are people who want to take 3 weeks in a row holidays. There are people who just take 2 or 3 days every now and then. Why? I got a chat with those people, and they said to me, after 2 days I'm just physically back to norm, so I can carry on with my task. But why don't you take more holidays? Because if I take more holidays, I feel like I miss something. I lose my purpose of my life. Even that.
Yeah.
Which means that they are so addicted to the rat race that the rat race becomes the main path, main direction, main purpose of life. And when they step out, they feel uncomfortable. So they go to the comfort zone, which is rat race. While other people, like me, prefer to go outside and be outside and watch this rat race instead of being part of the rat race. And then I don't feel comfortable. I want to step out. But, unfortunately, with this society, we need to be mostly in the rat race instead of being outside of the rat race. Unless, there are some particular situations when you can be completely outside of it, still satisfying your physical needs, observe everything from outside, and just laughing about it. And we've got those elites doing it. People who are in charge. And not talking about the politicians, but all over the world and on different levels and different elites and different positions in the societies, still having ruling the world, looking from the side, having fun with those rats running, and enjoying it. But that's another another topic, also quite interesting. But I think we're talking about the life in and what the life is about. One more question which I asked at the very beginning, but we didn't have the answer. None of us said anything about that. Was why the life can be positive or negative? Why some people perceive the life as positive and some don't? Is this related to your physical reality, which, as you said, like when you wake up in the morning and you got a good good sleep, you feel positive, which means you start thinking, oh, this life is actually not that bad. But if you got a lot of drinking, you got a fun, but then you have to suffer next day. Then you think, oh, I'm so stupid, the life is terrible, and my wife will be complaining about it, about me, about this and that, and my child this and that, and you create this negative way of thinking. Can we even say that life is good or bad, or positive or negative, or how do you see that?
I think that will be the topic for next week, because it's the 30 minutes of also. Have a joy.
Think about.
Have joy thinking about it, and then we will go on next time.
Write a diary about it.
All right, please do so.
What was it? What was the subject again? Good or bad?
Yeah. Positive, negative.
Or positive, negative. Why is it positive and negative for ones and not for the others? All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. As always, enjoying a lot. I hope you too.
Yep.
And I hope that our viewers enjoy that as well. So thank you very much for this time. See you next time. Thank you.
This is a good one.
Yeah, you enjoy that?
No, well, just